Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, David Sabella.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Oh, it's a rowdy crowd tonight. Hi, everybody. My name is David Sabella. And I'm here tonight to celebrate the music of John Kander and Fred Ebb and the 20th anniversary of Broadway's longest-running American musical, Chicago. And if that's not cause for celebration, I don't know what is. Life keeps happening every day. Say yes. When opportunity comes your way, you can't start wondering what to say. You'll never win if you never play. Say yes. My first contact with this show was the 1975 cast album with Cheetah Rivera, Gwen Verdon, and Michael O'Hawkey as Mary Sunshine. The minute I heard Michael sing a little bit of good, I thought, yes! There's mink and marigold right outside, and long white Cadillacs you can ride, but nothing's gained if there's nothing tried. Say yes. I knew I would play that part. So from that moment on, whenever I prayed, which was not often, but still, whenever I prayed, and I swear to God this is true, I would end my prayers with, and please God, why doesn't someone revive Chicago? Don't say why, say why not? What lies beyond what is not. So what? Say yes, yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I'd love to do such and such. Yes, of course. Yes, how nice. Yes, I'd happily. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, yes. And then it happened. City Center Encore put Chicago on their 1995-96 season, and I got an audition. Every high-voiced Broadway boy was there. Sam Harris was there. Billy Porter was there in a yellow Hawaiian print shirt with big red hibiscus flowers and red 4-inch CFM pumps. Don't say why, say why not? What lies beyond what is not. So what? Say yes. Now, I could hear everybody through the door. Sam was amazing. Billy was amazing. Billy Porter's rendition of A Little Bit of Good was like the Acid Queen from Tommy. But I had been around the block a few times as a male soprano. I'd already toured all over Europe in opera houses and concert halls as a male soprano. I had just won the Luciano Pavarotti International Voice Competition as a male soprano. Thank you. So I was confident. Plus, I knew this role. She was a grande dame, a former opera diva turned gossip columnist, a cross between Beverly Sills and Liz Smith. Yeah. Yes, I talk. Yes, I walk. Yes, I'd love to do such and such. Yes, of course. Yes, how nice. Yes, I'll fly. And yes, I'll dare. And yes, I'd happily. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, yes. I walked in a suit. I turned my back to the table and sang the first 3 trills upstage. It was risky, I know, but I had dreamed about this moment for years. And when I turned around, on the high note of the last trill, I saw Walter Bobby's face. Yes! You can't look back and a chance that's lost. Say yes. The dice mean nothing unless they're tossed. The throw is usually worth the cost. The hope of summer denies the frost. Say yes. And by the time I got home, I had a message on my answering machine. Yeah. Remember answering machines you actually had to go home to check? Anyway, it said, and I quote, "Hello, is this the home of Mary Sunshine? I think it is because we'd like to offer you the part." Yes, I am. Yes, I'll be. Yes, I'll go. Oh, yes. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Thank you. And that's how it started for me. And it just got more and more amazing from there. Picture it. First day of rehearsal, City Center Encores, 9 a.m. in the morning. I walk through the door, and who's the first person I see? Joel Grey. Ann Reinking. B.B. Newworth. James Naughton, Marcia Lewis. This is a room full of stars. Somebody pinch me. I'm in this room. I'm actually in this room. I'm a part of this. And then Ann Reinking comes up to me and says, "It's so nice to meet you. I don't know how you do what you do." Ann Reinking. She can kick her own face. So, after introductions, first table read, 9 a.m. in the morning. So I'm thinking, we're not going to sing. Nobody sings at 9 a.m. in the morning, right? Rob Fisher starts the overture right into all that jazz. And B.B. Newworth sings. Full out. At that moment, you could see everybody around the table just sit up, take a swig of coffee, and strap in, because the bar had just been set. And for 2 weeks, it was, come on, let's play. Let's have some fun. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. Top that. And someone who always rose to that challenge every single day was Marcia Lewis. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Marcia Lewis was a force to be reckoned with. She taught me a lot. She taught me how to survive a Broadway schedule. She even taught me a lot about sushi, which I now love. And Marcia Lewis may single-handedly be responsible for Chicago coming to Broadway at all. You see, at the time of the City Center production, Marcia was already on Broadway in Grease. Produced by a new, young production company, Fran and Barry Weissler. Well, the way she told me the story, they were not exactly thrilled with the idea of letting her out of their hit Broadway show to go do this little weekend experiment. But Marcia was determined. Mama Morton was one of her favorite roles, too. She guaranteed them, I won't miss a single performance during rehearsals, and I can find somebody who you already know and love to cover for me when I'm gone. With that, they said yes. And Marcia Lewis also bought Fran and Barry Weissler 2 tickets to opening night at City Center. And the rest, as they say, is history. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, Ice it up for Mama, she'll get hot for you. Marcia was also very well known for singing a song that I've never heard anybody else sing before or since. And I would like to sing it for you now as a tribute to her. And as I've gotten older and older and older, it's a song that has become very near and dear to my heart. For years I reigned in Fairy Dell. I waved my wand, I waved it well. If I can't do all I did, I'm satisfied because I'd sooner be a has-been than I would a never was. Nobody loves a fairy over 40. Nobody loves a fairy when he's old. He may still have a magic power, but that is not enough. They like their bit of magic from a younger bit of stuff. When once your silver star has lost its glitter, and your tinsel looks like rust instead of gold, your fairy days are ending when your wand has started bending. No one loves a fairy when he's old. Oh, I remember my youth, when my wand would rise up at the slightest provocation, spewing forth wishes like pearls. All the little fairy boys would ask me for a stroll. But now and then, more often than not, I'm mistaken for a troll. When once you've lost your little fairy dimples, and the last spell that you cast was long ago, you stand there shouting, "What-oh?" But they all pass by your grotto. No one loves a fairy when he's old. So what's the one conclusion, if I may be so bold? No one loves a fairy when he's old. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You know, we didn't know what would happen. It was supposed to be a fun weekend of 5 performances, right? Encores was in its infancy. William Ivy Long, our costume designer, asked us to raid our closets and our lingerie drawers for possible costumes. Contrary to popular belief, I did not have my costume in my closet or my lingerie drawer. So I went down to 14th Street, and for less than $20, I bought this. This is what I wore, and this is why Mary Sunshine now wears a lovely, stylish pantsuit. God, I wish I bought a gown. Opening night, I will never forget. I'm sitting in my dressing room on the 3rd floor. All that jazz, and right after all that jazz, my monitor breaks. Complete static. I looked up, I thought, oh God, that's terrible. But it'll clear up. It's a short in the wire. It'll clear up. Maybe somebody changed the channel? It'll clear up. A good minute later, it hadn't cleared up. So now I'm thinking, oh God, I don't even know where we are in the show now. I have to go downstairs and tell somebody my monitor is broken. Now, there are at least 5 more songs before I go on, so I was not in a rush, but I thought I'd better get down there sometime. So I put on my shoes, I check out my makeup, I walk down 3 flights of stairs. And while I'm walking, I realize It's not just my monitor. It's every monitor in the building has shorted out. Oh, I get downstage, I get to the backstage, and then I realize it's not the monitors. That was the audience. It was thunderous, rip-roaring ovations of applause that had overloaded the monitor system. And it went on and on for another 6 minutes. I stood next to Joel Grey on stage right, and we looked at each other like, what show are they seeing? Yeah. And it just got bigger and bigger from there. Every single number. I got entrance applause. Hell, yeah. Everybody got entrance applause. Is everybody here? Is everybody ready? Hit it. I don't care about expensive things, cashmere coats, diamond rings, don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. That's what he's here for. I don't care for wearing silk cravats, ruby studs, satin spats, don't mean a thing. All I care about is love. All he cares about is love. Give me two eyes of blue, softly saying, I need you. Let me see her standing there, and honest mister, I'm a millionaire. I don't care for any fine attire Vanderbilt might admire. No, no, not me. All I care about is love. This song was sung in the show by James Naughton, who won a Tony Award for his portrayal of Billy Flynn. I love James Naughton. What a great, great guy. And a little bit of a prankster. Every once in a while, Jimmy would replace the backstage large orange cooler of water with an identical large orange cooler of vodka. Those were some fantastic second acts. I don't care for driving Packard cars or smoking long black cigars. No, no, not me. All I care about is doing the guy in who's picking on you. Yeah, twisting the wrist, that's turning the screw. All I care about is love. Wow, thank you so much. Woo! And thank you for the chorus. Thank you. You know, every time I hear that song, whether it's on Sirius XM radio or in an elevator somewhere or even right here now, it always makes me a little bit nervous, right? Because that was my cue. Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. Mary Sunshine, like all the other characters in Chicago, is based upon a real-life vaudevillian star of the day. Did you know that? Roxy Hart is based on Sophie Tucker. Amos Hart is based on Bernie Williams. And Mary Sunshine is based on Julian Eltinge. Now, Julian Eltinge was a superstar at the turn of the century. He did vaudeville, he did Broadway, he did silent films, he had a published magazine, he had a cigar line, he had a makeup line. He was the Oprah of his day. He even has a Broadway theater named after him, which still stands today. It is now the home of the AMC Empire Movie Theater on 42nd Street. If you walk into that theater, you will notice that the original proscenium ensconces the box office. And above that proscenium is a fresco of 3 beautiful women. Well, those 3 women are actually Julian Eltinge in 3 of his most famous roles. You see, Julian, or Lady Bill as he was called, always played the male lead in his show, who for some reason had to get into a dress and become the female lead of his show. And he went back and forth all night, singing as both male and female characters. This made him a megastar until the morality laws of the 1930s kicked in, which prevented him from ever getting into a dress in public again. By 1941, at the age of 59, he died, a penniless unknown. He was, by all accounts, a pretty tortured soul, never able to truly express himself unless he were on stage in a dress. One of those beautiful moments was written for Julian to sing in his show Cousin Lucy by none other than the great Jerome Kern. Now listen, it's a secret, don't repeat it. Don't you tell a soul, not a single soul. Among a lot of books, I found a book on looks, one that tells you what to do when eyes are so true, gray or blue, smile on you. Now listen to the many, many, many strange things any little girl can do. With that, come hither, look in her eyes. That signifies I kind of like you. Each precious little dear at 16 starts out on her wild career of breaking a heart. With that, come hither, look in her eyes. And when she sighs, I'm oh so lonely. Men fall like autumn leaves, but still each one believes the look that lies and lies and lies in those come here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. This song is We Both Reached for the Gun, and it's one of my favorite moments in the whole show. Now, the highlight of any Broadway run, if it happens at all, is a presidential performance. In our case, President Bill Clinton came to see the show. This is no easy performance either, let me tell you. Basically, it's the President of the United States, his family, entourage, and 1 billion Secret Service agents who are not laughing, not even really looking at the stage because they have a job to do. Then there's the general audience who stumbled in on the evening the show happened to be viewed by the President of the United States, his family, entourage, and 1 billion Secret Service agents. And they're not looking at the stage because they're looking at him. If he laughed, they laughed. It was very strange. The backstage show is completely different too. The Secret Service start coming about a week before the president sees the show. They scope out what is normal behavior. If you go running to a queue every night, they learn that's normal. But if you happen to be late one night and you go running where you didn't before, you are followed. And let's face it, Roxy Hart shoots Fred Casely with a gun on stage, basically pointing into the audience. The Secret Service did not like that. That gun was inspected and had a very strong chain of custody every night. Well, come the day of the performance, they do a complete security sweep. They do the front of house, they do the backstage, they do the dressing rooms. When they got to my dressing room, all hell broke loose. You see, John and Fred had given me a very special gift for opening night with a little card that read, "We're glad we both reached for you." And it was sitting on my dressing room table, proudly on display. Well, let's just say when the Secret Service saw it, I was not prepared for their reaction. 5 men upstairs stat. It was a lighter. A cigarette lighter. Okay, all right. It was this cigarette lighter. Don't reach for the... Thank you. Thank you so much. You want to know something? I'm older than I ever intended to be. All my life, I wanted to be on Broadway, have my own act. Then I was, and I did. In fact, I was so blessed to have achieved every professional goal I had ever dreamed of by the time I was 31. Well, thank you. And what did I do after I had reached all my goals and fulfilled all my dreams? I stopped dreaming. I forgot to keep dreaming. Anyway, I couldn't dream any bigger than what had already happened, so I sat for a few years. And I couldn't figure out if what I was feeling was apathy or happiness. It's hard for an actor. We're not used to being happy. No, we ain't. Come on, David. Think big. Think big. Children. That's what was next. So my husband at the time and I set off on a course to adopt. And those were some of the most blessed, wonderful, horrible, devastating years of my life. Yes, we adopted 2 beautiful children who are the love of my life. But the journey, the journey. Life is what you do while you're waiting to die. Life is how the time goes by. Life is where you wait while you're waiting to leave. Life is where you grin and grieve. Having if you're lucky, wanting if you're not, looking for the ruby underneath the rot, hungry for the pilaf in someone else's pot, but that's the only choice you've got. Irena was our first. A beautiful baby girl just 10 months old. We arrived at the agency just to read the case history of the child. And when we were done, the social worker said, "Would you like to meet the baby?" I said, "Sure." "Great. You go to lunch. I'll call the foster mom, see if she can bring the baby in for a visit." Great. But we come back from lunch, and the entire energy of the office has shifted. People are now running across the room. "Could we have your signature?" "Okay." "Could we have your fingerprints?" "Okay." And then they bring in the baby, and she falls asleep on my tummy. And while she's sleeping, they said, "Listen, there was a little misunderstanding with the foster mom. She thought you were here to pick up the baby. So she dropped the baby off, said a tearful goodbye, and fled. If you want, you could take her now." So I walked out of that office at 5 p.m. with a baby in my arms thinking, they're letting me leave the building with a human. Yeah. But that's the only choice, you know. I immediately went to Kmart. I bought a crib, I bought food, I bought bottles, I bought wipes, I bought diapers. Diapers. How do you change a baby? Life is what you feel just before you are flat. Life is only that. Ooh. Next came a little baby boy, just 2 weeks old. They told us he didn't have a name, so we named him Joseph Reign, R-E-I-G-N. The woman who delivered him to our home stood over the crib and said, "Well, now your family's complete." And it was, for a while. 2 months later, we found out, he had a name. It was Ricardo, and he had family. They couldn't take care of him, but they were not at all happy that he was placed with a two-daddy family. They still had some parental rights attached. They started a petition to have him moved, and he was. Running for the shelter, naked in the snow, learning that a tear drops anywhere you go, finding it's the mud that makes the roses grow, but that's the only choice, you know. Jaden came to us at 6 days old with his name. He had a smile that could light up the room. I used to carry him everywhere in the baby pouch. She was there. I literally just wore him all the time. Me and my baby, my dear little baby. Look at my baby and me. It was like heaven in 2.5 rooms. And then 7 months later, some distant relative appeared out of nowhere to claim him, and within 24 hours, he was gone. Life is where you grin and grieve. Less than a month after that, the social worker called again. I didn't think we could handle any more heartache, but she assured me we would be able to adopt this little baby girl named Faith. But Faith's situation was different. She was already almost 2 years old, 18 months. We had to do a series of visits with her, visiting and overnight, and visiting and overnight. She had to get used to us. Well, we did get to adopt her, and she's now 9 years old. And I'm not so sure she's used to me yet. Less than a year after that, Faith's mother had another baby, a little boy she named Christian. Well, to make a long story short, after 3 years of him being with us, knowing Daddy and Papa, his sisters, we were not able to adopt him either. But he is in our family, our extended family. He comes for long visits. We go on vacations together. He's 7 years old now. He still calls me Daddy. He has another sister in his adopted family, also named Faith. Also 9 years old. It gets very confusing. Sometimes I have all four of them. And together we make one great big world full of yes. Life is what you feel just before you are flat. Life is only that, mister. Life is simply that, sister, that and nothing more than that. Life is what you do while you're waiting to die. This is how the time goes by. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 plus years. You know, I've always told my children, they picked us. We didn't pick them. They picked us. Somewhere in the great unmanifested, they looked down and said, I want to be there. How am I going to get there? That's not going to be easy. Oh, I see. I have to enter here. Oh, then I'm going to go through some stuff. But that's how I end up there. And for the children who didn't end up with us, well, we helped them get to where they really needed to get to. Sometimes the most miraculous things go completely unnoticed. When it all comes true, just the way you planned. It's funny, but the bells don't ring. It's a quiet thing. When you hold the world in your trembling hand, you'd think you'd hear a choir sing. It's a quiet thing. There are no exploding fireworks. There's the roaring of the crowd. Maybe it's the strange new atmosphere way up here among the clouds. But I don't hear the drums. I don't hear the band. The sounds I'm told such moments bring comes in on tiptoe. Well, what do you know? It's a quiet thing, a very quiet thing. Thank you. So one night after the show, John Kander came into my dressing room and he said, David, Fred and I are writing a new musical, and I'm writing a role for you. Every time I think about this character, I hear your voice. Wow. Well, the show was The Visit. And the role was a blind eunuch. Typecasting, I know. Yeah. But still, it was and is the single greatest honor I have ever received. Now, the story of The Visit is a little bit convoluted. So basically, it goes something like this. A young Claire Zakanassian meets a young Anton Schell. They have a torrid affair. She gets pregnant. He renounces her. She's cast out of town. Her life is in shambles. He, however, goes on to marry the daughter of the wealthy shop owner. His life is set. Now, her life is destitution and prostitution, where she meets and marries not one, not two, but several of the world's wealthiest men. They all die, leaving her to become the world's wealthiest woman, a multi-billionairess. Okay? She returns to her hometown, which is completely destitute, poverty-stricken. They're destitute because over the course of her life, she has bought up every single business in town and shut it down. So now she returns as their one and only savior. She will endow the town with $2 billion. She will give each member of the town council $2 million. They just have to do one thing for her. They have to agree as a town to sacrifice the life of Anton Schell. Yeah. If they do, they will realize all of their dreams, and hers, as it turns out, which is to take the body back to Capri, die, and lie beside him forever. It's a comedy. At least it was when I did it. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this song is sung by one of Anton's best friends, who has the unenviable task to deliver the bad news. Okay? Now, this show had its problems. And, to be honest, I very often have a problem with the Kander and Ebb show. You see, there's always the role I'm really right for and the role I really want, most of which have already been done by Chita Rivera. This song, however, was sung by Jason Danielle. There's something I need to tell you, Anton. A secret I have to tell you, Anton. I simply must say it, Anton. Listen, Anton. I was the only one. I wanted to help you, but I was the only one in all of our town. I did my best to help. It's murder, I told them. When everyone cursed and sneered, I shouted them down. What kind of people are we? She's making us madmen. How, in the pursuit of gold, can you be so vile? But oh, if Shelley's wretched, then so are we, I said. But wouldn't it serve us well if Anton were dead? They said. I didn't agree at first, but having it drummed into my head convinced me, Anton. I'm sorry, Anton. Forgive me, Anton. I wanted to help you, but I was the only one in all of our town. They will kill you, Anton. The temptation is too great, our poverty too wretched. They will kill you. And I will take part in it. I can slowly feel myself becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. I too am scared, Anton, because I know one day an old woman will come for me, for all of us, and then what has happened to you will happen to us. But soon, perhaps in just a few hours, I will have lost that knowledge. Somewhere deep in a bottle of gin. I'm sorry, Anton. Forgive me, Anton. I wanted to help you, but I was the only one, the only one in all of our town. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, you know, a Kander and Ebb show wouldn't be a Kander and Ebb show without a witty, acerbic duet, often sung by two witty, acerbic women, affectionately known as the Bitches. Chicago has class. Woman of the Year has The Grass is Always Greener. The Rink has The Apple Doesn't Fall Very Far from the Tree. The Visit has You Know Me. Oh, wait. You Don't Know You Know Me. It was cut from the Broadway run. Well, luckily I did the workshops and I have the music. So, to help me sing this never before sung in New York performance duet, please help me welcome to the stage a dear friend of mine, a venerated Broadway actress, a luminary, now Broadway producer, and a woman who I know is a dear friend, and the dear lady who goes to the same church as I do, Miss Jana Robbins. Yeah. Come on up, love. Here you go. Hi.
Hello. Isn't he wonderful? Isn't this a wonderful show?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm having a great time.
I'm glad.
I hear you have a show coming up.
I do.
On another network, as we say.
On another network. Yes, I have a show. I have a show on my own. I did it last September at 54 Below. And as David said, now that I've been doing more producing on Broadway than I have been doing singing or acting on Broadway, I decided to do a show called I'm Still Here. Thank you.
Why did you name
I don't
it that?
I don't have to give them the punchline, but it's because I'm still here. So I'm having a great time, and they've asked me back, and my show is there on February the 1st.
Go see it. You won't regret it. So we are the two witty acerbic bitches. Again, typecasting for me. Okay. And all you really need to know about this duet is that we really do not like her. We really, really, really do not like her.
You know me, I hate the gossip. You know me, I never mean. But that bitch parading around the station was the most revolting sight I've ever seen. But I'd rather cut my tongue out than say so.
You know me, I'm never vulgar. I employ the best of taste. But her wealth could only have come from a business that she runs below the waist. But I'd rather boil in acid than say so.
And as you know, she is a Jewess. And her folks were never wed.
So who deny the whore's a bastard? But please, my dear, let it die right here. 'Cause you know me, I'm never vicious.
You know me, forever mild,
Who
but
deny the wonderful reputation I've enjoyed since I was a little child.
But that bitch who's back among us
Pretending to be a lady,
is 50% a gypsy,
50% a Hebrew,
100% a bastard,
and
200% a whore.
But you know me, let's agree, not one word more. Ooh, ooh, shh. You know me, I'm never nosy.
And my mouth is always shut.
But the men are treating her like a princess, while to me, she's only a little slut.
And I'm certain she's had a facelift.
Probably had a couple.
Surely she had her nose bobbed.
I'd swear that she had her hair dyed.
Certainly had her eyes done.
Obviously a butt lift.
Or her ass would be on the floor. But hear me well,
I won't tell not one word more. Thank you. Jana Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. Jana,
yes.
would you do me a favor?
What?
Would you give these lovely people another opportunity to experience your wonderful talent?
I thank you for asking me.
Jana Robbins.
As I said to you, from my show, I'm still here. I sing an awful lot of songs, I will admit, from Gypsy, which I did on Broadway when I covered. Well, thank you. Me or the show, I don't know. Anyway, thank you. I covered Time Daily, and I played Mama Rose, and when I wasn't playing Mama Rose, I was bumping it with a trumpet many years ago. We've known each other for a long time. And a lot of other shows, and I sing from some of the shows that I've produced, like Little Women. But after I did the show, actually, at Don't Tell Mama, a playwright from a current show that I am producing called Roof of the World, we just did a world premiere out in Kansas City at Kansas City Rep, said, Jana, yeah, you have to sing this song. And I listened to it, and I absolutely agreed with her. So this particular song is for playwright D. Tucker Smith. Some may reach for the stars. Others will end behind bars. What the future holds in store, no one ever knows before. Though time may help you forget all that's happened before, it's too late to regret what is gone will be no more. Tomorrow is my turn. No more doubts, no more fears. Tomorrow is my turn. When my luck is returning, all these years I've been learning to keep fingers from burning. Tomorrow is my turn. No more doubts, no more fears. Tomorrow is my turn to receive without giving, to make life worth a living. For it's my life I'm living, and my only concern. Tomorrow is my turn. When summer is gone, there's another to come. You can't stop the years drifting by, even if you want to try. Though time may help you forget all that's happened before, sweetheart, it's too late to regret. What is gone will be no more. Tomorrow is my turn. No more doubts, no more fears. Tomorrow is my turn. When my luck is returning, all these years I've been learning to keep fingers from burning. Tomorrow is my turn. No more doubts, no more fears. Tomorrow is my turn to receive without giving, to make life worth the living. For it's my life I'm living. Tomorrow is my turn. No more doubts, no more fears. Tomorrow is my turn to receive without giving, to make life worth living. For it's my life I'm living, and my only concern. For tomorrow is my
Hello. There we go. Some of you may know that my brother, Ernie Sabella, who is in the audience tonight, was Joel Gray's first replacement as Amos Hart. So we got to do the show together, both on Broadway and in Las Vegas, for over 2 years. 2 years. You know how some people have these little annoying habits that get you down? Like Ernie. Ernie, on my opening night on Broadway, sitting there in the audience, got a bloody nose. So nervous was he for me that he gave himself a bloody nose. Flash forward to Ernie's opening night as Amos Hart, and I got a bloody nose. Well, I completely blacked out. I can't remember a thing. It wasn't until later when I was washing the blood off my costume I even knew what had happened. But then, while my brother sang his 11 o'clock number, except in Vegas it was at 12:30, I stood in the wings every night, and I got to watch a master class. If someone stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg, you'd notice him. If someone in the movie show yelled fire in the second row, this whole place is a powder keg, you'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that personage should be invisible, inconsequential. Me, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name. Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell you, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name. Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Suppose you was a little cat residing in a person's flat who fed you fish and scratched your ears. You'd notice him. Suppose you was a woman wed and sleeping in a double bed beside one man for 7 years. You'd notice him. A human being's made of more than air. With all that bulk, you're bound to see him there. Unless that human being next to you is unimpressive, unimportant. You know who. Should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Never even know. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Thank you. I had a good teacher. Thank you so much. Well, that's right. Why don't you tell him? I have to make some thank yous to some people who, without them, this evening would not have happened. First off, Joseph Macchia for booking me into the joint. Also, Bernie Firstban. Also, John Firstban, who's our video director. And John on lights and sound. Hey, John. And your lovely and extremely quiet waitstaff. Okay? This is lots of fun for me, but they actually carry things. Okay? So please be very kind to them. And then also I want to thank my delicious guest star, Miss Jana Robbins. Thank you, Jana. And this wonderful group of guys here behind me, Mike Luna on drums, Marco Brem on bass, and Mark Hartman, my music director. So I go to Mark, I say, I have this idea. It spews forth out of my head, and all of a sudden we have a song, and there are charts, and it's a show. And it's all because of that man. Thank you. Thank you. And I have to thank you for coming out on a balmy Wednesday evening. I want to thank you very much for coming. And I'd like to leave you with this one little thought. This song has become very near and dear to me over the past few weeks with what we're all had just experienced. It's true. Give them the old razzle-dazzle, razzle-dazzle 'em. Give them a show that's so splendiferous. Row after row will grow vociferous. Give them the old flim flam flummox, fool and fracture 'em. How can they hear the truth above the roar? Throw 'em a fake and a finagle. They'll never know you're just a bagel. Razzle dazzle 'em, and they'll beg you for more. Fred Ebb once said to me that in 1975, Chicago came off more like a pastiche, a comment on the legal system. And in fact, it was written in response to Watergate. But in 1996, and certainly today, it reads more like a documentary. Whatever sensational headline is grabbing our attention, whether it was O.J. Simpson when we opened, or the German au pair who claimed her innocence right through to her conviction, or the death of Princess Diana at the hands of the paparazzi, or even this past election season. Yeah, Chicago asks us to turn inward, to take a look at ourselves, at what we've become, and even more scary, where we might be going. Wherever we're going, it seems clear. Chicago will remain relevant. It's good. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it nowadays? There's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, let's hope it stays, and mess around with Ike. And that's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know, but oh, it's heaven nowadays.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Sabella.
Thank you. As they say in the show, here's one more parting shot. While trucking down the road of life, when every hope seems gone, I just move on. When I can't find a single star to hang my wish upon, I just move on. I move on. I run so fast, a shotgun blast can't hurt me not one bit, 'cause heaven knows I'm on my toes. A moving target's hard to hit. So as I play in life's ballet, I'm not the dying swan. I just move on. I move on. Just when it seems I'm out of dreams and life has got me down, I don't despair, I don't go there, I hang my bonnet out of town. So there's no doubt I'm well cut out to run life's marathon, 'cause I move on, I just move on. So fleet of foot, I can't stay put, I just move on. And all that jazz, that jazz. Good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Sabella.